crashed into the Shelter Island harbor this morning. More from the boat captain who pulled the pilots to safety coming up.
We now have an idea on how much the city of San Diego wants to charge for trash pickup.
The Trump administration wants to cut federal funding for research. We'll take a look at how that could affect local universities and research institutes.
San Diego's own Lamborghini yacht goes up for sale for $4.5 million. We'll have a conversation with the very flamboyant owner.
Celebrating 30 years of giving, picking food for the hungry. We spend a day with the senior gleaners.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts right now.
We begin tonight with a developing story that we've been following all day. A military jet crashing into San Diego Bay near Shelter Island. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. It happened this morning at around 10:15. Tonight we can tell you the two pilots on board were able to eject and were safely rescued. CBS 8's Alex Cheney has been out there all day and joins us live with what else he's learned about the crash. Good evening, Alex.
Yeah, good evening, Marcella and Carlo. That's right. A military jet crashed right into the San Diego harbor just behind me. It created quite a stir this morning, speaking to a lot of people who were out here just on the Shelter Island harbor area. They were frightened. And also we spoke to the charter fishing company that was able to find the two pilots that ejected from the plane and were able to take them to safety.
I don't wish that on anybody to witness that.
Catherine Hope was exercising at her condo this morning when she saw the military jet crash into the San Diego Bay.
The plane hit the water and there was an explosion, a lot of black plume, and then it just like got sucked into the water, and within 15 seconds, there was nothing.
Many eyewitnesses on shore saying they heard the EA-18G Growler take off and then suddenly stop when the jet crashed.
And then it got kind of quiet, and then all of a sudden it just came right out of the sky and just, went down into the water and it disappeared, really.
The two pilots ejected and parachuted into the harbor. A fishing charter boat was just passing by, saw the parachutes, and were able to pick up the pilots and bring them to safety. The boat captain glad to be at the right place at the right time.
All of a sudden you see two parachutes with two dots underneath, and luckily we were there to spin the boat around, and thanks to my crew and everyone else, and we were able to swing by and pick them up and safely get them out of the water.
The Navy said the two pilots were taken to UCSD Hillcrest Hospital and are in stable condition. Now, this is still an active scene. The Navy has created an orange rope around some of the buoys out here in the harbor. They're trying to monitor any oil or gas that may have leaked out of that military jet, and they have closed down the harbor for the evening. I spoke to some people who told me that there are some really important military installations just behind me, and saying that jet could have crashed anywhere, and this whole situation could have been much worse. Reporting here live, I'm Alex Cheney, CBS 8.
Thanks, Alex. And stay with CBS 8 for developments on this story. We'll have any updates posted on CBS8.com, and you can also follow us on social media or download our free CBS 8 app.
The rain we've been seeing across the county today makes this a weather impact alert day.
Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis joins us now. Carlene, are we expecting the rain to pick up again tonight?
Tonight, no. Tomorrow, yes. But we're still going to see some rain in the forecast for North County tonight. But most of it, the heaviest activity, is picking up for tomorrow. So when we take a look at where we've been, at least over the last 6 hours, we've had an influx of moisture. Now, we haven't reached that inch mark across the county just yet because the heavier rain has not arrived yet. So this is more of the appetizer, and the entree is tomorrow. You're looking at rain in the forecast right now as an active radar. We're seeing that for Fallbrook as well as for Valley Center, stretching all the way down towards downtown, as well as for Bonita and also for Chula Vista. We're seeing some isolated activity across the mountains, but we did have some flurries earlier today. So setting the clock in motion, there you go. For tonight, you're looking at 9:10. So we're seeing some rain across North County, also for the mountains. And then we get a little bit of a break before we get that influx by tomorrow. Then you're looking at more widespread rainfall back in the forecast. This is at 5:20 early tomorrow morning. It's still on the light side, but then it becomes a little bit more intense as we go into about 9:40 a.m. But we have even more heavy rainfall expected for tomorrow night. And so we'll go ahead and get to those details, set the clock in motion, also show you those rainfall totals we received already coming up. Marcella.
Thanks, Carlene. And remember, for the latest weather alerts and conditions on the go, you can download our free CBS 8 app from Google Play or the Apple App Store. Free trash pickup in the city of San Diego is about to be thrown out.
Homeowners could soon pay up to $53 a month for a service that's been free in the city for more than a century. Voters approved the change in 2022, but they didn't know how much it was going to cost until now, with the city rolling out its proposed fees.
CBS 8's Abby Black breaks down the costs and shares what residents are saying tonight. Abby?
In San Diego, the days of free trash pickup are coming to an end, and residents are feeling the pinch.
It's like, where does it end?
Starting this year, a standard 95-gallon black trash bin could cost homeowners $53 a month. But here's where you could save. You could get a smaller black bin that's 35 gallons. That'll cost you $42 a month. But it won't last long. The city wants to jack that price up to $52 starting in 2027.
It's a lot.
Jen Hodgson in Claremont says that's a bunch of garbage.
Well, that's upsetting. Everything's going up. Homeowners insurance is going up. And then now all of a sudden we're going to have to start paying that amount of money every month for trash pickup when we paid nothing before.
This change stems from 2022's Measure B, ending a century of free trash service that started in 1919.
We're one of the only cities that still does it this way.
The city says it's losing money, spending $82 million on trash service. Except for Long Beach, this would be Southern California's highest trash rate. Most neighboring cities use private contractors.
I guess I'm not totally opposed to paying nothing, but $53 is a lot.
While Measure B did not specify the exact fees, independent analysts estimated monthly costs between $25 and $42. Jeremy Bauer, the city's environmental services assistant director, explains this disparity stems from underestimating the number of customers served and has nothing to do with the voters rejecting a half-a-cent sales tax last November.
And we have been very transparent on recognizing what has been done in the past and listening to folks throughout the city.
The city says that the new fees will fund additional workers in trucks to prevent service interruptions.
From day one, the fee to replace containers would be eliminated. We will provide a replacement container for a lost or broken container.
By year 3, despite rates rising to $63 for standard bins, residents will get increased bulky item pickups.
You're probably thinking if you're reducing your trash, your recycling will probably start to pile up. The good news here, the city says with these rate increases, it'll help pay for a weekly recycling service instead of every other week.
A subsidy program is in the works for low-income customers. The Environmental Committee votes tomorrow. Now, if the council gives final approval in June, charges are expected to appear on your second property tax bill this year.
I'm really disappointed in San Diego. It's just one thing or another.
In Claremont, Abby Black, CBS 8.
Thanks, Abby. The San Diego County Air Pollution Control District is handing out thousands of air purifiers to people who live in the South Bay. They're supposed to help filter the homes from harmful odors caused by the Tijuana River Valley pollution crisis. Priority will go to households with children, seniors, and those closest to the Tijuana River. Eligible residents in communities like San Isidro and Imperial Beach can register online to get a purifier for free. All new tonight, detailed numbers that show just how hard San Diego researchers could be hit by funding cuts from the Trump administration.
4 of the top 15 award recipients in California are from our region, including UC San Diego, which is 3rd on that list. CBS 8's Steve Price shows us the numbers and the concern.
During the last fiscal year, San Diego State University got more than $44 million from the National Institutes of Health to fund research, and they're not alone. Several local universities, hospitals, and research institutes also got money to fund important projects.
San Diego State says they're using NIH money for projects ranging from developing better treatments for cancer to addressing health disparities in underserved communities. UC San Diego received over $560 million from NIH last year. Scripps Research Institute almost $163 million, and the Salk Institute for Biological Studies more than $66 million. But right now, the future of NIH money is in doubt, with the Trump administration pushing for deep cuts.
I've been in this business 50 years now, and there is nothing that's even come close to threatening the basic research capacity of this country to do good, to help people every day in their lives.
California is one of 22 states suing the federal government to keep their NIH funding, arguing biomedical advancements at UC include the first radiation treatment for cancer, research contributing to the first flu vaccine, the discovery of the role of LDL and HDL cholesterol in heart disease, the invention of modern modern gene editing, and much more. Researchers fear it is not if we'll have another pandemic, but when. They say cutting this research money will end progress to identify what's coming and how to treat it.
This is the kind of research that's going to basically be destroyed by these decisions that are being made right now. We are going to be a fire company going to a fire without any water.
Dr. Michael Osterholm also fears the loss of funding will discourage young researchers from entering the field of science, and others will take their talents overseas.
I'm also well aware of researchers right now who are likely to lose their positions because of this action that are being heavily recruited by European research universities.
Earlier this week, a judge issued a temporary restraining order that keeps funding in place, at least for now. Another hearing is scheduled for February 21st. At San Diego State, Steve Price, CBS 8.
All right, Steve, thanks. Feeding San Diego is celebrating a major donation. The food bank received about 15,000 pounds of dry rice today from LA-based Riviana Foods. The donation is worth more than $85,000 and is part of the rice company's efforts to support food insecure families across the state. Feeding San Diego says the gift will help provide essential meals to seniors, military families, college students, and children struggling with food insecurity throughout San Diego County.
San Diego County, we have a lot of cultures represented here. And when we've done our research, we're like, well, what's the best food that we can send out that most people will like? And we have found that of all the dry goods, rice is the universally accepted item.
Yeah, all kinds of cultures eat rice. In addition to the rice, Riviana also donated $25,000 to the California Association of Food Banks.
The San Diego restaurants among the top places to eat in the country. That's still ahead.
Making me hungry for dinner. Plus, a rare Lamborghini yacht docked at Shelter Island is now up for sale. We hear from the vessel's notorious owner.
And a historic move to help restore wetland habitats in the South Bay.